Good evening and welcome to Flip Math. As we've been talking in class about metric conversions, we're now going to switch over to customary. That's our different system for measurement. This is the system of measurement that we use here in the United States. Pretty much everywhere else uses the metric system. As you'll notice, here is our learning outcome for tonight. I can convert between customary length measurements. Please go ahead and pause the video and write down your learning outcome for tonight. The very first thing that we need is a definition for length. We need to know how we're going to be defining this measurement. The definition that we're going to use is how far, how wide, and how long something is. Pause the video to write down this definition in your notebook. First, I'm going to give us 4 different units of measurement that are in our customary length. So first I'm going to talk about the mile. I'm going to give you these 4 units. You don't need to write down the example unless you feel like it's really going to help you in remembering these. So a mile, that's used to measure long distances. The next one is the yard. This is the distance from a person's nose to the tip of their fingers when their arm is extended. Foot, we call it feet for a reason, the distance of a person's actual foot from their toe to their heel. And lastly, we have the inch, the distance between your thumb and your index finger. I have this one bolded, the inch, because this is our basic unit for measurement in length for customary. So when we were doing metric and we were doing length, does anybody remember the most basic unit for that one? If you said meters, then you are correct. We will be working with inches a lot and often converting to inches. I want you to know that my chart is going from greatest all the way to the smallest. So my mile up here, that's my biggest unit in length for customary, and then my inch is the smallest unit. Here I have listed our conversion chart. This is going to be exactly what you need to know and have in your brain for when we're doing our conversions. This is a chart of equivalency. So I have 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, 1 yard is also equal to 36 inches, 1 mile is equal to 1,760 yards, and 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. I want you to also notice the abbreviations that we have here in parentheses. This is how we're going to shorten it instead of writing out the entire word. So be on the lookout for it when you see these abbreviations. Once we have gone over these, now you're ready to pause the video and you can go ahead and write down this chart into your notebook. Now that we've looked over our conversion chart and we have a better idea of what each of these units is equal to, we're ready to try a practice problem. Here I have an expression. We call this an expression and not an equation because there is no equal sign here. When I read my problem, I read it as 3 yards and 1 foot minus 2 yards and 2 feet. When I'm noticing my problem, I see that I have yards and I have feet. If I remember back from when we've been doing conversions, I know that I can't convert unless my units are the same. We don't have the same units here, so we're not ready to convert yet. First, to do our conversions, we're going to start with our first row. I'm going to start with 3 yards. We need that to be in feet, so we're going to go from yard to feet. If I have 3 yards, that's the same as having 3 feet 3 times. So when I do 3 feet plus 3 feet plus 3 feet, that's equal to 9 feet. Now I need to get my 2 yards into feet. When I'm looking at my second row and I have my 2 yards, I know that if 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, then 2 yards, I have to do 3 feet 2 times. So if I have 3 feet plus 3 feet, that equals 6 feet. Now that I have my 9 feet and my 6 feet, and then I have 1 foot and 2 foot over here, then I know that I'm ready to convert because we're all in the same units. So I can do 9 feet plus 1 feet, and then I can do 6 feet plus 2 feet, and then I'll be ready to subtract. Right now you're thinking, okay, I know what 9 plus 1 is, and I know what 6 plus 2 is, so I get 10 feet and 8 feet. I still haven't subtracted yet, but I'm finally ready now that I only have one number on top, one number on bottom, and I have my feet over here. What's 10 minus 8? 2. We have 2 feet, and that's our final answer. I know that it's correct because I have my units that are the same. I've converted, and then I went ahead and did the operation of subtraction, which my expression was asking me to do. Solve the following math problem in your journal. Be sure to add. Notice that we are adding here and not subtracting. So in my practice problem, we subtracted. Now you are going to add. So after you do your conversions, go ahead and add. Make sure to show your notes and your answers to your teacher in the morning as always. Use this chart to guide you in case you don't remember what each of these are equivalent to. Happy solving, and we'll see you in the morning.